Oklahoma comes into the 2019 season as the Big 12 favorites. Welcome to Scout Trout YouTube. Kyler Murray, he's gone. Marquise Brown, he's gone. Who's going to step up this year? They had a lot of production last year out of CC Lamb, and um, the running backs. Nobody talks about the Oklahoma Sooner running game last year. Kennedy Brooks and Trey Sermon both accounted for 25 touchdowns and over 2,000 yards rushing. That should be a big key for them this year coming in to Big 12 play. They got to have a great ground and pound attack, especially with Jalen Hurts, who's an option type quarterback at the helm. If he shows up and doesn't throw the ball into the ground like we've seen him do sometimes last year at the University of Alabama, kind of getting thrown to the wolves at times, not getting a lot of reps coming off the bench when he did. Won the game against Georgia, though. I believe that ruined his Heisman hopes last year because he couldn't get the job done against Georgia. They had to flip flop and do what they did the year before, take Hurts out to win the national championship because Kirby Smart was not prepared, in my opinion, for Tua coming in the game. The Georgia defense was shocked, which gave Alabama another national championship. The loss to Alabama last year was tough. A lot of things went wrong. Looking at it this year, Oklahoma football should be legit again. They should have a great season in the Big 12. Their schedule is got it up here. It's not that bad. They start out with Houston, new coach at Houston, Dana Holgerson. Could be a good game. We'll see what Oklahoma's about the first game. We'll see if their offense is going to be as electric as it has been over the years. CC Lamb had 1,158 yards last year and over 17 yards per catch, which is really impressive, and 11 touchdowns. Not a lot of people talking about him as a threat this year. Really going to be one of the best targets for the Oklahoma Sooners offense this year. But the big questions have come on the defensive side of football. Nobody argues that they have the best offense in America under Lincoln Riley. He's a genius on the offensive side of the football, knows how to put the right pieces in play, right scheme for the players that he has. They did a great job recruiting. Right now, Spencer Rattler's not listed as the backup, but I believe that he will be the backup quarterback, or he'll redshirt. But they're going to have somebody to come in if Hurts goes down, because Hurts is a very physical player. He'll run you over. He'll go for the first down. So you never know what's going to happen with him. He might have to come out. They're going to have a suitable backup coming in to run that high caliber, high octane offense at the University of Oklahoma. So we'll see about that. But then Austin Stogner, tight end, one of my top 2019 guys, Stacy Wilkins at tackle. I believe his father played in the NFL. One of the best I've seen at the tackle position coming out in the class of 2019. Theo Weiss Jr., name to watch. If he doesn't redshirt this year, I would have him in the lineup. I think he's one of the best receivers in the nation of college football today. Electric, can really go up and get it. Great route runner, physical, all the above. So when you're looking at it, the Oklahoma offense has a lot of weapons again. They should be able to put up a lot of points, and it's all going to come down to the leadership and the play of Jalen Hurts. So we will see what happens there. We really don't know. Will Lincoln Riley be able to get him chucking the ball, coming out hot? Boom. If you watched the Kyler Murray Pro Day, every ball's eye level, catchable. It shows a lot to his coaching ability, Lincoln Riley, and the skill set of Kyler Murray. A lot of people said he wasn't going to even be able to play or take a snap in the NFL, and he should have took the baseball contract. Bohami Jones was the one who said that on ESPN, and he was completely 100% off and wrong. Larry Fitzgerald said he's one of the best he's ever played with. So that should be great right there. But then on the defensive side of the ball, Kenneth Murray Jr. comes back, NFL draft caliber, first round talent, had 155 tackles last year, which is phenomenal for a middle linebacker in the Big 12. Should really be a key impact player this year for the defense again. And Grinch comes in. Grinch turned the Washington State defense around, 38th in the country from like 110th. So he should be a great asset to the defensive side of the ball. He really stresses turnovers, which Oklahoma lacked last year. They only had 9 total for the season, 6 interceptions and only 3 fumble recoveries. So they really weren't getting turnovers for the offense, and they still were winning games because they put up so many points and they were so hard to stop. If they can get any defensive production this year better than last year, they should win the Big 12. They should come out on top. Texas is going to be a contender this year. We're going to preview them next. They're my second team in the Big 12 this year, and TCU is third right now for me. Not a lot of people have them up there. I believe they're a top 25 team this year. So we will see what happens there, but it's going to come down, can Ronnie Perkins step up? At the strong side defensive end. He had a decent season last year. Are they going to get, a good push, a good pass rush out of Kenneth Mann at D tackle and Perkins? Can they get to the quarterback? Do they have the edge rushers this year to make that happen, to make these turnovers really happen for these defensive backs? Because really last year that was the struggle. They did not turn the ball or get turnovers in the Big 12, which had a lot of passing and a lot of high flying activity, which is why I'm a fan of the Big 12. I love that style of play. In the defensive backfield, Trey Norwood, Trey Brown, Patrick Fields, these guys are going to have to step up. These guys are going to have to play ball hawking, attacking defense, which Grinch is known for installing. Grinch is known for going, that route for, a defense as a defensive coordinator. I really like him. But like I said, there's a lot of guys that need to prove themselves this year at the University of Oklahoma. Coach Lincoln Riley is going to do a great job in camp and get these guys ready. They fired Stoops. Big surprise because they got a Stoops on their roster, a wide receiver. This could be a big year for the University of Oklahoma. Again, like I said, this starts off our Big 12 preview. I'm going to go through their schedule real quick. I got it up right now. UCLA is their third game. They're going to run into Chip Kelly. They're going to go away on 9/14. That's their first notable game this year. We're going to see a Big 12, Pac-12 matchup, see who, reigns supreme there. It should be a good game. It's on the road. I think that's a win, though, for Oklahoma. The fourth game is kind of crazy because if you look at it, I have it up here on the big screen. If you look at it, really, Texas Tech is a scary game for Oklahoma because Texas Tech last year, let's look at the score of that game. With Coach Wells coming in, Coach Wells is a really good coach. Texas Tech beat the piss out of Oklahoma State last year, 41-17. They got Alex Bowman back. Alex Bowman is a great quarterback. He was up for my freshman of the year under Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury, we all know where he's at. He bounced to USC, was there for like 2 days, and now he's the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. So we're going to see what's happening in the NFL this year with a lot of these Big 12 guys. Texas Tech almost beat Texas last year. Yeah, it's a rivalry. Yeah, this, yeah, that. It was 17. They beat TCU 17-14. They lost to West Virginia, who was really good last year under Dana Holgorsen. Can't believe they let him go, honestly. I think that was a mistake. That's why West Virginia's picked to finish near the last, the Big 12 on a lot of people's boards this year. They didn't really do a good job in recruiting. A lot of turnover there. But if you look at it, where is it at? 51-46 was the Texas Tech Oklahoma game last year. Texas Tech is a dark horse this year in the Big 12. Matt Wells is a great coach. If you see what he did with Utah State last year, I wrote a lot about it on College Football Today. They were a top 25 team. Utah State had a good quarterback in Jordan Love, but in my opinion, Matt Wells is one of the best coaches in college football today, and they got a diamond there in the rough, in Alan Bowman. So Texas Tech has its shot there to pull an upset against Oklahoma and really turn their season upside down. So Oklahoma's going to have to be prepared for that matchup. Looking at things and then Texas Tech almost beat daggone Texas. It was 41-34. Great game, no defense there once again. So you move forward. Kansas, Les Miles comes to town at Kansas this year. Could be could be a good game, but I think Oklahoma pulls that one off big time. And then we got the Red River rivalry on 10-12. Oklahoma, I believe, lost that game last year and then made up for it in the Big 12 championship, which ended up getting them to the college football playoff. Um, you know, it's going to be a good game. We're going to preview Texas next and see what they got. They got Sam Ellinger back and a lot of great players, but you know, I think Oklahoma pulls it out. I think Oklahoma right now, looking at this, they got a lot of good games, a lot of tough games. It's going to be a good season. Then you got West Virginia. That'll be a win, in my opinion, at home. They have to play Texas on the road in the Red River rivalry this year, so that's going to be another tough matchup right there. Kansas State, they lost a lot of players, got a new coach in Chris Kleiman from North Dakota State. He won national championships, a lot of them. They win every year. They're number one in the FCS polls again this year. Um, and I suspect some things there. They could slip up this year. They could have a bad season. We don't know. So then we got Iowa State. Iowa State's been really playing good football year in and year out, doing very well in recruiting. It's really going to come down to defense. Like I said, can Oklahoma cause turnovers, create turnovers, some sort of pass rush? Right now Kenneth Murray is the best player on that defense. Is he going to have to make all the tackles again? Is he going to have to really go all out all over the field, or is somebody else going to step up and cause some disruption on the defensive side of the football for the Oklahoma Boomer Sooners? Um, you know, Baylor's not doing so well anymore. Had got blown out a lot last year. Let's look at their schedule from last year. Um, they beat Texas Tech though at the end of the season, and they beat Vanderbilt, who was a good SEC team, middle of the road SEC team in the Texas Bowl last year. A lot of close games for Baylor last year. If you look at it, they got blown out by West Virginia. Um, but like I said, Holgorsen is there, and Holgorsen's one heck of a coach. When he's going to be at Houston this year at UH, and that's the opening game for the Sooners. They play South Dakota the second game. You know, why'd you schedule them? That should be an easy win for the Boomer Sooners. Looking at it, I'm not seeing many losses for Oklahoma this year on this schedule. And then they got TCU. Um, TCU is going to be a really good football team this year. Like I said, I had them picked third. It's a toss up between them and Texas Tech for the third. And I got Oklahoma State in that mix too. Oklahoma State coach Knowles on the defensive side of the ball always does a great job. So we're going to see what they really got this year. TCU, their football schedule last year. Let's look at it. I got it up right here. It looks like they are going to they play Oklahoma at the beginning of the season. TCU was up and down last year. Had a lot of things happen on the offensive side of the football that we didn't expect. That Ohio State lost in the beginning of the season really set them back. They really wanted to win that game. I'm saying Oklahoma, maybe one loss in here again before they get to the Big 12 championship. Maybe not. They could run the table. I'm predicting an undefeated season for Oklahoma and them to reign Big 12 champions this year. We shall see. We don't know really until it's any given Saturday. Really, you can go out there. Anybody can beat anybody in the Big 12 any day. A lot of close games last year. Looking at it, like I said, TCU is going to be a tough game for them. Texas Tech is going to be a tough game for them. UCLA shouldn't be a tough game. Texas, obviously, the Red River rivalry. It's going to be a good game, but looking at Lincoln Riley's scheme, the way he's able to do things, the way he's able to recruit new players for that scheme, high flying, score a lot of points. I think that this could be a big year and another return to the college football playoff. Now, once they get there, they have the leadership in Jalen Hurts. He's been there before. He knows what he's doing. Kyler hadn't been there yet. No dish to Kyler Murray, Heisman Trophy winner. Thought he was the best player in college football last year by far. When you look at the statistics and production and what he's able to do when the football was in his hands. Didn't look so good against Alabama in the first half anyway. Ball thrown all over the place. There were some questionable calls, though, in my opinion, that could have swayed the game, obviously. Uh, but looking at this right now, this schedule right here, I'm not seeing many losses for University of Oklahoma compared to what the rest of these teams have. Like I said, week 4 is going to really tell me where the Sooners are going to be this year after they beat UCLA on the road. Um, could be a good game, could not be a good game. We'll see if UCLA shows up this year. We're going to preview the Pac-12 as well. But I'm really thinking that Lincoln Riley and Jalen Hurts is going to be a good combination. If Jalen don't work, he'll see you later. And they got the legs of one of the best guys I've ever seen spin it. Accuracy wise, the way he throws the football, Spencer Rattler, amazing kid, amazing recruit in 2019, one of the top on my board. They got some other good quarterbacks in there too this year. So, it's going to come down to can they stay healthy? Can they play defense? And can they create turnovers? Because the offensive production is always there under the best offensive coach right now in college football, Lincoln Riley. So we shall see. I think it's going to be a big year again for the Boomer Sooners, and you know, Big 12 football is back. I think, in my opinion, right here, I think there's 3 or 4 top 25 teams that could be considered top 25 teams in uh, Oklahoma, Texas, TCU, Oklahoma State, and even Texas Tech. So there's 5 right there that are contenders this year in the Big 12. Uh, Baylor's on the way back, hopefully, gaining steam. They're recruiting some of our players. There's some really good talent in the Big 12 this year. Oklahoma has 37 active NFL players right now in the league. And a lot of great things going on at the University of Oklahoma last year and over the years. I'm very excited for the outlook of the Boomer Sooners. I think Lincoln Riley, like I said, he's going to bring the horsepower, always does. Can Grinch turn that defense around this year and create turnovers? That's going to be the big question for the Sooners if they're able to get over to that next step. This was Scout Trout Radio, Boomer Sooner Preview. God bless 2019. Let's go.